مصاحبه های سیمای آزادی با شخصیت های شرکت کننده در کنفرانس رهبری زنان، ضرورت یک ایران آزاد و جمهوری دموکراتیک. هلن گودمن، معاون رئیس مجلس عوام انگلستان 2007-2008.
Well, I'm very pleased to be here. My name is Helen Goodman. I used to be a member of Parliament, and I was absolutely determined to come this year to support Iranian women in the few days before International Women's Day. This is the day when we celebrate the achievements of women around the world, and we're also fighting for change, and there is nowhere where this is more important than in Iran, where what we have seen over the last 40 years is systematic attacks on women, physical attacks on women, but also legal attacks on women. And it is absolutely clear that a radical change is needed, and that without improving the position of women, we will not see a flourishing democracy in Iran.
The event this year highlights the women's leadership in the Iranian people's struggle for freedom and also in the Iranian resistance. From your perspective and your view, what role does this leadership of women play in the effectiveness of the fight of the Iranian people for having a free and democratic Iran?
Well, I think women's leadership is essential. Partly because, of course, women are half the population, so women must get an equal share in what happens. But also because I think the women have a more practical and down-to-earth approach to dealing with problems. They're not interested in power for the sake of bossing other people about. They're interested in listening to the people and reflecting what people want. And that is a completely different way of doing politics. And I think that we need to add that into the situation in Iran. I think Mrs. Rajavi's 10-point plan is really first class. She makes it absolutely clear that religion and government should be separated, and that the government will run much better if it is open to all the people of Iran. That means women as well as men. It means people in all the different ethnic minority communities. Iran is a huge country, and there are many different groups in Iran, and she wants to see them represented. And she's really recommending a way forward based on democratic decision-making, not the use of force. Unless women's rights are respected and unless we have legal equality, the country cannot progress as it needs to. It's not using all its people to the full, and Iran needs all its 90 million people to flourish in the future. I think, we have a theocratic, autocratic regime at the moment. We don't want to go back to a royalist autocratic regime. I can remember I'm so old, I can remember the revolution of 1979. And I can remember meeting women at a meeting of the United Nations in Copenhagen in 1980. As far back as that. And at that point, they were really hopeful of change from what they had suffered under the Pahlavi regime. And of course, those hopes have been dashed. But that tells us that we do not simply need to go backwards. We need to go forwards.
And lastly, if you want to send a direct message to the Iranian people and especially the women and girls inside Iran, please talk to them directly.
My message to you is I respect your courage. You have made tremendous strides forward. You have made tremendous achievements, and we fully support you going forward.
جودی اسکرو، وزیر مهاجرت کانادا 2005 رئیس کمیته تجارت بین المللی پارلمان.
In terms of where we look towards the future of Iran, what do you see as the kind of main or essential characteristics of that a democratic alternative needs to possess?
It has a constitution that is very reflective of what the real Iran should be, which is very much what's been laid out in the 10-point plan as a viable constitution that's ready to go, that would guarantee equal rights for everyone, men and women, but in particular, the equal rights for women that clearly the women of Iran do not have today. Following the 10-point plan maps out a pathway to ensure an equality for every woman and girl that is born in Iran, which is, I believe, an excellent way to move forward with the future for the Iranian people.
Thank you. And just finally, what would be your message to the Iranian women and the protesters who are on the front line of uprisings every day?
I have to say this, absolute warriors is what they are. I so applaud their courage. Without them, this would not happen. Without them, their desire for a free and democratic Iran will not happen. Today, they are riding motorcycles and waving the flag. That's a freedom flag. That's the flag for tomorrow that will free all of the women in Iran, but more importantly, put Iran in a positive way of moving forward into a democratic country that can join the rest of the world in respecting democracy and human rights for every single person who is in Iran. So the next step that needs to happen is that we need to see proper elections in Iran, and the Iranian people have the opportunity to choose the kind of Iran in the future they want and what that would look in a democratic form, I believe, under the leadership that we have seen already. The 10-point plan is laid out as a constitution ready to go. So let's move forward. Let's give the people an opportunity to go out and participate and vote and move Iran forward in a positive way.
Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
برنیس بونلو، عضو کمیته امور خارجه و اروپایی پارلمان مالت.
So what do you see as, the role of women in resistance and in uprising?
So I think women are of course, for any society to work, you need balance. And of course, with men, of course, you have to have the balance when it comes to women. And if this isn't there, society won't work. So in any democracy, balance is an essential key in everything. So of course, when we're seeing here this movement, women are fighting to have their basic rights, which is of course any society. Women have to be equal to men in order for a society to work. The fight that I see in these women, when I hear the stories of their experience in their countries or what their parents and previous generations has been through, for me, it shocks me at the same time, because I come from a country, we're a small country, and so we also had women who had to fight to have basic rights, like, for example, the right to vote. But I hear stories from my grandparents and from my parents where women had to fight to get certain rights or even to get elected to parliament. So I see a future for these women. So due to their strengths, due to the sacrifices of other women who have come before them, they will see a future for their country, not just for women, but in general, because this is not just a fight for women, but also a fight for the democracy of their country. So, but I think what these women are doing is an essential key to achieving this democracy.
Thank you. And what would be your message to the women and the protesters in Iran right now?
I think they give courage to all the women around the world. We may face smaller problems, much smaller problems than what they are fighting, but to see the sacrifice that they are doing, it gives us courage. And I say keep on fighting it is not easy to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, but at the end, when you achieve that goal, it will be that much of a great thing because of what they had to go through, not just them, but of course the generations before, because everyone is building on the work that was done before. So I think they give us all the strength to even in our own thing is not as maybe as difficult as what they are facing, but they give us strength. So for us to see them fighting to achieve democracy for the country, for women, it is of course strength. So keep on fighting, and we wish to see, of course, a greater future.
Thank you very much.